Peter Obi has a lot of supporters, and they went after Bayo Onanuga on the street. I got a lot of reactions, people just attacking Bayo Onanuga's tweets. Some people were even saying, I mean, what sort of campaign did you guys even run? What were your messages?
So, I mean, Mr. Peter Obi has 100% every right to speak against, the electoral system. Yeah. And he just enunciated this point, and he said many things there. And the reaction by Mr. Bayo Onanuga was just missing the point and unnecessary. I mean,
hello everybody, welcome back to Plan B TV News. Yet again, we're going to be deliberating about the 2023 presidential elections that were conducted in February 25th. It is no longer news how Bola Ahmed Tinubu becomes president, though his opposition, that of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and Atiku, that of the PDP, did not sit well with the decisions of the INEC. They filed petitions to the Supreme Court to challenge the results of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and that of the INEC, how they conducted the election. Being in Nigeria, we know the law, but the law don't know us. So the law favored Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the Supreme Court. Peter Obi and that of Atiku did not sit well with the Supreme Court judgment, so they filed to the Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal again ruled out and said that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president, nothing can stop it. Now, we thought that was all. Now, let's just call the spade a spade. Let's Tinubu continue to be the president that he desired to be. Peter Obi is out again to challenge Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, he said, okay, let's let the sleeping dog lie. Where the ruling of the Supreme Court ends, that is where the hope of Nigeria begins. These were his words to the press. Now, let's watch how the Arise TV News analyze it. We'll be right back to do some messages to it.
Well, let's continue on what's trending then. With reactions trailing the press conference organized by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, who stated, among several points, that the judgment of the Supreme Court that upheld the victory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has damaged the confidence that Nigerians have in the judiciary. Peter Obi spoke in Abuja on Monday, 10 days after the Supreme Court of Nigeria affirmed Tinubu as Nigeria's president. Addressing the press, Peter Obi condemned the Independent National Electoral Commission, saying the commission displayed incompetence during the elections. Obi thanked Nigerians who supported the Labour Party and described the movement of the party as a revolution postponed.
This judgment amounts to a breach of confidence of Nigerians have in our judiciary. However, this end is only another beginning of our quest for vindication of hope of the common man for a better Nigeria. This year, 2023, has been quite remarkable and revealing. INEC displayed incompetence in the conduct of its statutory duties. It has one thing that has gladdened my heart in course of the struggle in the past 18 months. It is the passionate desire of our people, especially young Nigerians from across ethnic and religious divides, to construct a new and restructured Nigeria that will work for all Nigerians. The energy and dedication of Nigerian youth and obedient movement have been simply amazing. Going forward, we in Labour Party and the obedient movement are now effectively in opposition. We are glad that the nation has heard us loud and clear. We shall now expand the confines of our message of hope to the rest of the country.
Well, the presidency, in reacting to Peter Obi's press conference, stated that Obi should find another worthwhile vocation and stop casting aspersions on the integrity of the justices of the Supreme Court for affirming Tinubu as winner of the February 25th election. Bayo Onanuga, the president's special advisor on information and strategy, in a post on X, accused Peter Obi of being delusional to believe that he could have won a national election where he ran a divisive and polarizing campaign. His statement reads in part: at the press conference where he tried in vain to gaslight Nigerians with false claims and innuendos, Mr. Obi contradicted himself. Here was a beneficiary of judicial pronouncements in the past, now castigating the Supreme Court because its judgment did not go his way. He made false allegations of rigging and other electoral malpractices, yet could not produce any evidence to back up his claims at both the Court of First Instance and the Apex Court. We expected the Labour Party candidate to know that the Supreme Court or any other court does not give judgment based on public opinion and mob sentiments. Judicial pronouncements are based on evidence, precedents, and the rule of law. Obi should have congratulated President Tinubu for his victory and pledged his support in the spirit of statesmanship. But instead, he brought up extraneous matters that he thought the Apex Court should have considered to declare him the winner. In our view, the drowning Obi, just like Atiku, was merely attempting to hold on to a straw in raking up new allegations which exist only in his imagination and that of his hordes of supporters. Well, of course, you know, Rufai, Peter Obi has a lot of supporters, and they went after Bayo Ononuga on the street. I got a lot of reactions, you know, people just attacking Bayo Ononuga's tweets. Some people were even saying, I mean, what sort of campaign did you guys even run? What were your messages? Let me just take one tweet. The State House should rather quit from agonizing over this World Press Conference. They should rather focus on the message and leave the messenger alone. He raised quite some pertinent issues that if the State House was sincere and people enthroned would have taken cognizance of. Issues like why we allocated such ridiculous amount of money to the office of the First Lady, an office that has no constitutional representation. But no, as always, the State House has left matters of significant prominence to start raving over the love Nigerians have for the messenger and his message. More like the opposition. Again, stop the agonizing, focus on the message. I mean, there was a word there that I couldn't use, but you know, but that's basically what it is. Agonizing over, you know, somebody who has a right to actually speak against what he believes in at this point.
So, I mean, Mr. Peter Obi has 100% every right to speak against, you know, the electoral system. Yeah. And he just enunciated this point, and he said many things there. And the reaction by Mr. Bayo Ononuga was just missing the point and unnecessary. I mean, if you're attacking him, attacking his supporters. But we can also flip the script and remind Mr. Bayo Ononuga how he started ethnic baiting. And
that thing you just said is correct, because he made that mention of that.
This was the same Mr. Bayo Ononuga that wrote after the elections. He said this should be the last time people from a certain ethnic group that have been in Lagos for tens of years should never, I was talking to the Igbo, should never participate in the election. Mr. Bayo Ononuga said all sorts of things that were very, very bad during the election period. And when we say people that did rabble-rousing, you know, he really did a lot of it. But, you know, the elections are all over. Nigerians will try to heal from all of this. But one of the substance of the things Mr. Peter Obi talked about, he talked about the need, you know, for public opinion in society, which we cannot discountenance, which is very strong, which is germane. He also talked about, you know, the judicial system. And Mr. Bayo Ononuga saying that, yeah, the judicial system favored Mr. Peter Obi for. Yes, I mean, he made a point there as regards that. But we also sit down here and see a lot of judgments that have come out during this electoral period. You know, judgments here and there, the discrepancies, the differences and all of that. And it takes a lot to study. But we can't keep dialing and looking at the past. In moving forward, what are the things we ought to do? Yeah. He put forward some suggestions. He talked about things like a 5-year presidency tenure. Dr. Abati has enunciated the fact that Goodluck Jonathan has talked about it before now. The birthday boy has enunciated that fact, you know. And probably how we can truly restructure this country to make it fit for purpose. But also, I would also add, by seeing how we can go back to the National Assembly to fix those laws, those lacunas in the electoral laws that made politicians able to wriggle their way through. And really have real conversations about the reform of INEC. Are we going to adopt the Ways report fully? See, I must have to state this strongly. If it will be that it's still the president that is picking who is going to be INEC chief leading up to the next election, then we are not ready yet. The Ways report has been on for a while. It's time for us to fully implement it. This is the time for you as citizens to also call the lawmakers and say, these are the things we want you to push in the House for us as regards electoral reforms. Also, I talked about the fact that the opposition too should come up with ideas. So it's not just, opposition is not just about criticizing the government on ground, but what are your counter ideas to what they have? That's why, yes, presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, talked about the office of the First Lady and all of that. That should not be the case. The 5 billion for yachts. But I am also saying, and somebody just sent me a message that I think he did criticize, but I didn't watch the full tape because I was in and out of it, that the Labour Party lawmakers too should be called out for collecting the 160 million for the cars they want to buy, because, I mean, if they say they were bringing a new idea forward. So this is the time for us to be able to effectively run our government and run our country. And we must have a boisterous and strong opposition.
Yes,
you know,
this is the time to run our government. Yeah.
They should have a think tank. They must have ideas they are putting forward. And we must have a robust political space. And please, we'd like to beg all the actors, stop ethnic baiting.
Yeah.
Please. Stop ethnic baiting. Don't destroy this country. Don't set it alight. Yeah. Put your ideas forward robustly and let people enunciate on those ideas and debate on them.
Yeah, we must have a robust governance process at this point, you know, and that's also the rhetoric on a lot of reactions that I have seen. I'll just take this one for laughs. This is from Ben, who wrote, responding to Bayo Onanuga's tweet, he wrote, 2 questions for you, sir. What issues did you campaign on during the election process? He said election process, apart from dancing to Kwamwan songs at campaign events loaded with unlimited gas. What have you brought upon the masses in the last 6 months, apart from hardship, pain, and suffering?
Anyway, if you are a concerned Nigeria, I want to hear from you in the comment section. What are your thoughts about the current administration's Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his appointees, and how he has been running the country? A lot of us have been clapping hands because of what he did to the German chancellor when he visited Nigeria, saying he wants to deport Nigerians while he purchased energy from the country. Bola Ahmed Tinubu said no. So people were just saying, wow, bravo, Tinubu have done well. So a lot of us were just happy for that. Not that we were really that happy. Our happiness was if it was Muhammadu Buhari. He will not think twice. The first question Muhammadu Buhari would just ask is that, is any of my children live in Germany? He said no. So deport them, buy the energy. But for that, we give kudos to Bola Ahmed Tinubu for rejecting that offer. But along the line, the way Bola Ahmed Tinubu is borrowing and trying to squander the money within the space of 4 months, a bit 6 months in power, it's alarming. At the same time, it's uncalled for. We now are asking, now till the next 8 years or the next 4 years, if within the space of 6 months you want to squander 57 billion naira, so what will you do in the next 4 years? It's going to be much. He said there is nothing wrong with borrowing. Anyway, let me not drag you out of the topic of today. So what do you think about what Peter Obi said, now that he's saying our hope is not lost, that we should prepare ahead 2027 presidential upcoming election, though we lost hope in the judicial, but we should focus about preparing and getting ourselves ready. And a lot of things we have said in that video. So if you need the full video, you can just go to our Rise TV platform. All right. If you are obedient, please comment in the comment section obedient. If you are for Tinubu and you believe in Tinubu, just comment Jagaban of the North. Remember, it's not Jagaban of Nigeria. Jagaban of the North. Anyway, if it is the first time coming across our video and you enjoy watching this particular video, there's a lot of amazing video already waiting for you. If you enjoyed this particular video, please just subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you wouldn't miss out any of our future posts. For all our returning subscribers, God bless you. I love you. Remember, God love you best. Until we meet again, peace out.
Don't forget to subscribe to get notified. And as you share your support, now say God bless you too.
Thanks on the bed.
Lambi TV, Lambi TV, Lambi TV, oh, Lambi TV, Lambi TV, Lambi TV, Lambi TV.